Before getting started with the mambo rambo of the topic creative social project activism, I would first want to talk about the premise on which we started this entire movement. All these years, I have grown up watching people of different age groups around me. I've seen them chasing around something or the other. Now, this something is called happiness. However, happiness remains elusive. Now, the question was, what is the true source to happiness and contentment? Often I have seen people have been continuously dissatisfied with happiness. So I did my bit of research. I watched some TED videos. I read scriptures which I failed to understand. I read modern day scriptures of with the likes of Swami Vivekananda. And I finally found out that all these sources had one thing to say, which was the true source to happiness is through giving. Now, giving does not need to mean plain charity or philanthropy. Giving could also mean being a positive influence to a disadvantaged life, to bring shape to a positive idea, or just leading a movement. So with this mission and realization, we started Lectures for Good, wherein we promote creative social project activism. We encourage people to, along with their regular lives, take up small, big projects and derive more meaning out of it. So I'm going to talk about a few projects, the kind of projects that we adopt. Iveka Kingsley, a struggling writer, has a story. He's from a remote slum in Nigeria. He has a story and he wants to get his book published. He's looking for funds. Nikita is a filmmaker and is looking for funds to do a story on women misrepresentation. Preetam Sudarshan is a mural artist from a remote village, again wants to organize an exhibition. Now the question is, who adopts these stories? Who takes up the responsibility of doing that project? You. It's people like you who have to come out of your homes and take up these responsibilities and do something to create change in their lives. So it's you who's going to bring change in the society. Project itself. A project hero Ravi Kumar came to Lectures for Good with an idea. He wanted to celebrate his Diwali with a disadvantaged life. Now, Ravi Kumar spotted this kid, 9-year-old kid Chinna, and he's at the end of the day, you can see Chinna in his new dress. And this was a very beautiful project which was funded by us. Project Udan, wherein we aspire to take a handful of kids who in all probabilities can never travel on flight, planning for a free air ride for these kids from Chennai to Hyderabad. It's all about touching their lives. Project Shravan, Rama Vishwanathan, who is a software engineer, wants to take up an elderly couple from an old age home to a pilgrimage of their choice. So these are the kind of projects we promote and we aspire to make it happen. Tarun Gupta from Tarun Gupta is an IIT student, graduated to startup called Social Direct. Tarun wanted to create a website for Kamalakant Rath, who is an acclaimed cartoonist. Unfortunately, Kamalakant Rath is suffering from polio, and Tarun just wanted to gift him a website. That was one of our projects. And now the question is, where do the funds come from? Clearly, Lectures for Good, which means we organize lectures, workshops, social meetups, and we charge the people who participate, and with that donation, we implement these projects. 100% funds raise fuel creative projects. Now, creative social projects. I talked about social projects, but why creative? Now, the world's most pressing problems are solved through creative answers. These solutions are untouched, unaffected by experience. So we want to bring in creative change. Kickstarter and Indiegogo, the format, there are plenty of other organizations around the globe who are working in this area to implement creative social projects. Kickstarter and Indiegogo are two extremely popular platforms who are doing the same. However, we believe in doing projects with social value. That's how we stand apart. Candy Chang is one of my inspirations. Candy Chang is a TED fellow and is an architect by profession. Now, Candy Chang does community-based projects using her architecture experience and street art. So one of Candy Chang's extremely interesting and impressive project was Before I Die, wherein she transformed a neglected wall and converted it into a huge blackboard, a chalkboard wherein people could just write down, before I die, I want to. So we would want to do something similar in Hyderabad also very soon. So these kind of projects, JR is one of my biggest inspirations. Now JR was a lost street artist until he won the 2011 TED Prize. He bagged $100,000. Imagine $100,000, a huge organization like TED giving $100,000 to a street artist. Yes, art can change society, and he's a living example. Lamakan, leave aside international projects. Lamakan, the place where we are rightly seated now, is a breeding ground of social projects. Over this 1 year, we have seen multiple projects come into shape. Pechakucha Hyderabad itself is a living example. We have seen Debate Central happening. We have seen Ignite Hyderabad. Now, I would like to say 4 key steps to social project activism. First, for being a creative social project activist, you need to be an activist by spirit and not by profession. So, in a way, you need not leave your regular jobs to do that. Second, identify like-minded people who connect with your thought, and then implement your project. And third being, leave aside third, I will discuss with you in the break. Now, Seth Godin too is one of our key aspirations. According to Seth Godin, the world would look more beautiful if more and more people take up more projects. Clearly, like just imagine tomorrow or Sunday if somebody would want to take up street children in your locality and take them to Hyderabad Zoo. Or maybe start a collection drive for toys for the nearby kids of construction workers in your locality. Anything could happen. So, what I said in the last 5 minutes would be worth saying only if any one of you could think of an idea or start an idea in the next 24 hours. I would please request you to go back home, immerse yourself into an idea and make that happen, because the world needs you and we are here to help you for that. Thank you so much.